All right, guys, let's get right into it. In this video, I'm going to show you guys 2 tricks that will help you. One is going to help you on every rebind. The other one is a request I've had many times on how to produce it, how to do it. So I'm going to show you in this video. So watch the whole thing so you could catch those. We are rebinding a Cambridge ESV Pit Minion. For a compact Bible, this is an expensive Bible. Premium printing, good paper, good print. Usually compact Bibles are $20, maybe $30. This was still $60, not counting shipping. So it's a great Bible to rebind. And here I'm going to show you, I recently saw a post on Facebook of somebody talking about how they go through each page. This is all you have to do right here. Just fan the pages and you'll unstick 99% of the pages. You might have a few in there, but you'll unstick many of them. So here's the few tools that you need to remove the cover. If you haven't watched it yet, because in this video I'm gonna skip a few steps because you could catch those steps in the other video, how to rebind a Bible. But I'll make mention when we come upon the 2 tricks that I'm going to show in this video. This ain't clickbait. This video ain't clickbait. I'm truly going to show you 2 things that I haven't shown anybody. Actually 3. Now that I think about it, I show you 3 tricks that I do. One is how to produce a certain aspect of Bibles that many have requested me to show. And 2 are things that I do personally that are signatures that will make your Bible rebinds look better and cause your workflow to be cleaner. So here I'm removing the cover. And people say, man, why would you do that to a Bible? Because somebody wants a nice calfskin cover on this Bible. Here I'm taking it apart. So you do it, you take apart your Bible in this way so that you could preserve that reinforcement. If you took apart a R.L. Allen that was leather lined or a Schuyler that is leather lined, that's what they will have on their block. It'll be wrapped on the spine. So get your measurements for the rebind here. And when I take measurements with that tailor's tape, don't hold it tight. Just wrap it. Let it be a little snug, just a hair snug, and you'll get perfect measurements every time. If you pull it tight or have it too loose, it messes you up. Over time, I just kind of got the feeling for what it is when I pull that tailor's tape, that feeling of that's exactly where I want it, and take my numbers. So, got my width, got my height, and got the width of the spine. And I have 2 shots of throwing the tape down. So here's the leather we're going to be using. This is camo calfskin leather from Rocky Mountain Leather. Rocky Mountain Leather, if you want to sponsor me, I will push your leather hard and get you a lot of orders. Just a little shout out there. So get your square, your framing square, get your marks. Again, I'll let you know when I show you the 3 things that I do that are 2 are a signature thing that I do on my rebinds that nobody else does, as that I know of. And one of them is a how-to, which will take your rebinds from awesome to amazing wherever you're at. So we got our 1/4-inch markings, our yap, and our fold over. And I showed different details of a rebind in this video in case someone hasn't seen my other how-to video. So I did kind of a how-to video, but really I wanted to show those few tricks. There you go. And this leather from Rocky Mountain Leather, I have them skive it down as thin as they'll make it, and then I don't have to skive it. So if you go that route, you don't have to learn skiving. So now I find center, and now I'm marking my spine material placement. And here's the first trick that I'm going to show. Here's the first one. This is the one I've gotten requests on a bunch on how to do it. And it has to do with the spine material. There's 2 different spine materials that you could use for your rebinds. I'll put them in the description below. And this one I've never shown. I've never shown this one. So next we're gonna round out the exterior of the cover. And what you could do here is get yourself a socket set and find the roundness that you like. So just practice, find the roundness that you like. And you will be set and have a perfect corner every single time. I know a lot of people get hung up on the corners, but to me, it's the easiest part of the rebind. It takes me no time at all. It's all in the preparation. So every single time I got my 2 round sizes, and all I do is mark it and cut it. Mark and cut, mark and cut. There we go. I'm done. My corner will be perfect whenever I go fold it over. After I do this, I'll be showing the spine trick. I was having trouble with a little excess right there. I know many of you enjoy just watching people do crafts, so there we go. So next we're gonna do our liner. Before we do our spine material or skiving, get your liner number. You want that to be exactly right, because leather can stretch as you skive. So as it stretches, if it's a softer leather, it might change your number. So your liner will be able to tell you what is correct, what is the correct length, and you could fix it on the cover if it does stretch. So here is trick number 1 that I'm going to show you. This is the Oxford Hollow, and I screwed up on video editing. Here's the material, and I'll have it linked down below. The material to this that I use, it is the closest stuff I've ever found to what Oxford and Cambridge uses. It's the exact same stuff, basically. The only difference is it has a thin paper liner, but it doesn't make any difference. Probably makes it stronger, if anything. So here's how to do an Oxford Hollow. You have your 2 numbers. You have the width of the spine, you do another width of the spine, and then you do a 1/2 inch. I've had many people ask me how to do this, what's the material. So here's how to do it, and here's the material linked in the description. And I want to give a shout out right here to all my sponsors, which is everybody who watches my videos and purchases items on my affiliate links. Especially as I move towards my evangelistic ministry, the YouTube videos and the Amazon affiliate links have been such a great help, and they're going to continue being a great help in the ministry as I spend more and more time going that direction. So thank you, my sponsors, for watching my videos. So there you go. So now that you have the material cut, take your tooling tool. That's why I make those lines, so I know where to tool. And what you're doing is you're just making impressions so you could fold it cleanly. There you go. And I pray that none of my other video editing is mixed up. There you go. So that's what the 1/2 inch fold over's for, just to glue it down. So you create that tubular, another way people call it, tubular reinforcement, or an Oxford hollow, same thing. Then take your little bone tool and press it. Simple enough. It's always, everything's easy once someone shows you. Nothing's hard, so I'm glad to be of help. So now we're going to glue that little tab and press it down. And the next trick, which is a signature trick, and I can't even believe I'm going to show it, but that's all right. For the people, man, for the people. I will show that the other signature thing that I do. Once I showed how I did my spine hubs, I noticed I could tell other binderies who have done the same thing, right? They do what I do now, which is awesome. So now I'm going to show you what I do also to make those spine hubs look really, really good. Because I didn't show that. I didn't show 2 more steps in my spine hubs. I just showed how I get that press look. So fold it down. And this material, it like soaks up the glue. So use plenty of glue. Who cares if you make a mess? And then also, I have that length exactly what the spine is, but you want it just, a 1/16 shorter so that it doesn't stick out of the spine. You want it inset just a little bit. So now we're applying some glue on the exterior cover for the spine material. That's a trick right there. I mean, it took me a while to figure out how to do that. Not that it's complicated, but it took me a bit to figure out how do I recreate an Oxford hollow. I didn't know what material to get. I tried paper, I tried craft paper, I tried different types of cloth, and I finally found a material that works really, really well. I forget what it's called, but I'll link it down below. I think it's a book cloth by Books by Hand. There you go. So you see when I press it down how it's a 1/16 in so that it finishes clean. So now we tooled with a ruler our spine, and now we're gonna use our soldering iron and press in a hub. That's cool. I hope you appreciate my professional video editing right here. So you guys have already seen this, using soldering iron and a ruler on my line and pressing in that hub right there. So here's the 2 tricks I do. Number 1, after I've pressed the leather, I tool it. That's a trick right there. I go back and tool it. Especially if you have grainy leather, use that soldering iron and you'll smooth out the grain and you'll create an impression. And then when you tool it, it just makes it look really, really good. So there's the tooled and pressed hubs. And this is a very smooth calfskin, but it still makes it look really good. So here is trick number 2 that I'm going to show you guys here. Trick number 2. Want to make sure my video's still working. Yeah, we haven't died. So, I'll link also these in the description, little makeup Q-tip things. And I take this solution. It's an acrylic leather finisher. Whenever you burnish it with the soldering iron, you remove the finish. So what I do on my tooled hubs is I add this acrylic leather finisher, and it refinishes the leather, and it makes those tooled hubs shine. They just look really, really good. So that was trick number 2, guys. I have never shown anybody that trick. That was like my signature look I kept to myself. So now we're doing a liner here. You guys know what it is. Y'all know how to do this. Y'all are pros. So here you go. Take your measurements. Get that liner material nice and perfect. And you'll see whenever I go to glue the liner down to the leather, everything's perfect. Everything is perfectly lined up. That's the only way on the preparation. If you want a good looking rebind, everything is perfect. It's the only way. So now I'm doing the leather liner. Find center, do the width of your spine, and there you go. Oh, I'm gonna text my wife here. She just texted me. I am currently making a video. Happy face. There you go. I'll call you soon. There you go. Thanks, guys, for letting me text my wife. There you go. Beautiful thing. So, we're getting that liner handled. So I do the length of the yap. And then now I know where to cut the material. Easy enough. Easy enough. Now take your rounded edge and round those corners. Easy peasy. I probably could have cut this video down a lot more, but I never know what details is going to help somebody, because people are at different stages, right? So this might be your first time watching me rebind a Bible, and you're already getting a great overview. And I'm not going to show everything in this video. I skip a bunch, but you'll get a good idea. And the third trick is going to be doing the foldovers. And it's all in the preparation. So you want those foldovers extra thin. You want as thin as you can get, or you're going to fight. But there's another trick that if the leather's thin and you do this other thing, you'll have great, perfect foldovers. I don't think they manufacture this machine anymore or make brand new ones. I use the Kingsley embossing machine. Now, I've seen other binderies and what they use, and they are far better than what I use. But this is just what I got when I first started, and I just kept using it, and I got typesets for it. So I use a Kingsley machine, but I believe the Howard machine is a lot better. It has a greater platform, and that's the only difference. They all stamp. As long as it gets to 250 degrees, you're good, because that's what it takes to stamp gold. And I'm showing this process here so that you see it's not the easiest. You have to line it up, test it, reline, test, reline it. So take your time right here. Don't rush embossing. I probably could have cut a lot of this part out, but that's all right. Stay tuned for the third trick, man. I promise you, it's gonna help you. It's gonna help you. And this is something I implemented with my rebinds maybe a year ago. And it solved the issue of when my foldovers wouldn't stick to the leather. Let's make sure we're still... Yeah, baby, we're still recording. Do you guys see my my messy room here? I just moved to California, so I'm like roughing it right now. We're not as organized and clean as we wish we could be. If you looked at my shop right now, we're just getting by. I gotta build shelves. We gotta do some more things. So get it lined up. Next, we're gonna do ESV. You could see all my typesets on the left in the video because I don't have shelving yet. So I gotta rough it with it on my bench. If you're a bindery, you have stamped something and misspelled a word and kick yourself in the butt. So I have learned to just triple check my letters. Soon, you know, I have my last like 20 orders to get done and I won't be taking anymore. So I'll be able to get back to taking my time and producing awesome Bibles for a particular publisher. And I'm excited for that. I've been working a year and a half to be able to do that. So that's the next mission for Frost Leather. Start producing Bibles for publishers while I travel and preach. It's gonna be fun. So now we're gonna stamp Frost. On the bottom here, I flip it. And especially when you're stamping upside down, right to left, you gotta double check. I don't mess up anymore, but there's been quite a few times where it was like upside down and backwards. And so don't rush it. So just do a light tap and you can see the impression, a light impression on where it's at, and you just keep inching it into center as close as you could get. I know some people, I've seen people complain about binderies not having perfect embossing. This is why, right here. This is why. Because we don't have the big machine that stamps the whole spine at once and lines up the cover, right? This is what we got. So we have to do line by line. Some people purchase the 3 lines or they'll get a die made of all 3 lines, but they still have to straighten it out. And I've just never gone that direction. So here we go. Beautiful thing. Holy Bible ESV and the smaller Frost logo. So we're going to glue down the leather liner real quick. And I know I do skip. So you're not going to have to watch me gluing down the entire liner. But it's good to watch to see how a bindery does it. The process. Glue one side down at a time. I've seen where they put glue on the whole thing, then try to line out the whole thing. The glue dries fairly quickly, so do one side at a time, get it perfect, and then do the other side. That will save you a lot of trouble, and it's just easier. It's easier to do. So making the glue consistent, and then I fold the liner in half and I line out that one time. Again, man, everything is perfection. Perfect measurements on the liner. As I lay it down, I follow the pen line that I made. That's why I zoomed in right here. I wanted to show, if you prepare right, you just push that liner perfectly to the edge. And it looks beautiful. You can't always achieve this. There's sometimes where it's impossible, right? The leather stretches and you got to kind of work it. But when you have really good quality leathers and you could do this type of rebind, you could create perfection. Look at that, man. That's awesome. Then I do a tool next to the spine material just to press that down right there. There we go. Perfection. That's a brown lambskin lining a camo calfskin. Oh, I guess I do show both sides. Well, what do I want to show here? I don't know. Fun to watch anyways. There we go. Clean it up. Spread out that glue, because the PVA glue does start to dry. So then I steal some glue and I do the tabs. Not the tabs, the top and bottom of the spine where the liner's gonna touch. There you go, beautiful thing. And I try not to put too much glue on the edges, because then it like presses out, and then the fold over is hard. So it's nice when you could keep the glue under the liner and not pressing out on the fold over. Just these little things make life easier. So there we go, press it on, beautiful thing. A little Cricut roller. My wife said, okay. I was in Washington, but I just moved back to California. God has been pointing me this direction for a very long time. California is awesome. It cracks me up when people complain about California and as if it's a bummer that I moved here. California is the best place to live, man. So I'm here looking for a home for my family. Then they're going to come down. They're still in Washington. And some things the Lord is possibly desiring me to do that I may move forward in. We'll see. So I got a video also, single gilt lines. I got a video on how I do that. So I don't go in great detail, but there's a single gilt line. And I don't show the whole process. I skip. I just show like one side and the other, and then we're done. But right here is where I'm going to show you the last great trick that I implemented maybe a year ago, and it saved me a lot of trouble and has made my rebinds even better. It's a little detail, and maybe you do it already. Maybe you thought of it quicker than me. So here's the trick. Take some sandpaper, some 500 grit, 800 grit, just something rough, and sand the edges, especially, see, I got my big head in the way. Sand the edges so that you make it rough. This was the issue that I was having. I would go to fold over leather onto lambskin and it wouldn't stick no matter what I did. So I learned, I just had a thought, sand the edges, make it rough. And now every time, bam, tight. And I do want to mention another thing I do. I don't try to fold the fold over like tight. I give it some love so that it easily folds over. If you try to fold over and push that leather, again, you're going to fight it. So those little details, right? 3 details for a clean fold over. Number 1, the leather's thin on the edges. Number 2, you sand the edges. And then number 3, don't make your fold over and how far you're going to fold over tight. Give it some room so it easily folds over on itself. Oh. Making sure my camera hasn't died. My phone's low. So, apply some glue. Again, if you rush this part, applying the glue and folding it over, you're going to kick yourself in the butt. There's just certain parts of the rebind you can't rush. Here's one of them. Apply the right amount of glue and give it time to dry. And it doesn't take much. If you put too much glue, the wait time's longer. So you want just enough. And then I'm going to fold this over. I got it sanded. It's thin. And the glue is just right to press in. It's going to make zero mess and hold really, really well. I don't always hit perfection, but when I do, it's a good feeling. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful fold over. The best fold I've ever seen in my stinking life. So we skipped that. And my big head in the way. Man. How do people record without getting their big heads in the way? I don't know. So apply some glue. Here's like near impossible to not make a mess. This, to have glue press out, it's very hard. So don't kind of kick yourself. And I got great video skills, but I think I've shown a corner video. So press your corner. Not hard at all, man. Takes only what? 20 seconds to work my corners. But the leather's thin. That's the trick. There you go. Perfect corner. Majority of the time, I do perfect corners. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful thing. And that's it, man. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope those tricks were helpful. This Bible came out awesome and will be for sale here soon. Look at that. Look at that. So if these few tricks have helped you, if it solved a problem for you, let me know in the comments. Would love to know that this video was helpful. So be blessed, guys. Jeremiah Payne from Frost Leather. Have a good day.